The service line. We are underway. And that won't get over. A service error to kick things off. And Wisconsin with the first point of this contest.
Yeah, this is a good UC Davis team. We talked about a lot of the newcomers here in Madison, and only 4 players last year received tick. And on the other side, this is a UC Davis team, only 1 transfer coming in. A lot of these girls have played together before.
Yakic behind the service line, picked up by Light. That's sent up top to Chandler. She's met at the wall of Wisconsin block. Chandler will try once again, picked up by Furbringer, and Collier will go right at Light. This time it's Jay Light, diving stop from Furbringer, good pick up from Megan. Back to Light, swung on and off the block, out of bounds, point, UC Davis.
Good set there from UC Davis, in control of that entire point there. Good defense from Wisconsin, but they can only hold up for so long, and a lot of energy from this UC Davis squad. They know they got nothing to lose here tonight, traveling all across the country.
Big West all freshman, Jimena Cordero Barr behind the service line. It's Furbringer setting up Egan, and she's blocked, out of bounds, point Wisconsin.
Yeah, Egan's gonna have to play a big role this year for Wisconsin, transfer from Ohio State. Tallied 16 kills in that loss to Texas last Sunday, and she's gonna see her time go way up after Gracie Lopez out for the year with that torn ACL.
Kristen Simon, one of the stellar freshmen for Wisconsin, misses there. So now make that a service error for Wisconsin and a service error for UC Davis early on in this first set.
And both teams just getting their feet wet. Good atmosphere as always on hand today at the field house.
Reese Chapinski, the junior, and she'll miss away. Second service error quickly for UC Davis. Wisconsin back out in front.
Yeah, one thing you don't want to do if you're UC Davis, especially against this Wisconsin team, top 10 in the country, is hurt yourself. If you're going to lose, let Wisconsin beat you, don't beat yourself.
Grace Egan now at the service line for Wisconsin. She had a game-high 16 kills in the loss Sunday to Texas. And there's another transfer, Alicia Andrew. Traveled north after spending last season in Waco with Baylor. She gets quickly to work now, extending Wisconsin's lead to 2.
Yeah, they call her the queen of the overpass kill. That was on display right there.
Egan on to serve now. And that's set up. Jade Light off the Wisconsin defense, out of bounds.
Yeah, first kill for the Aggies superstars we mentioned in the open. Had a great showing last week at Sacramento State's Invitational, where UC Davis went 1-2, but Light showed off all her talent.
Here's Simon now. Furbringer setting up Collier. Big swing and drive, and that'll put him out of set here as a save there from Cordero Barr, and have to be sent over to Wisconsin. Furbringer over to Andrew. Here comes Jade Light. As it's Simon now setting up Collier. A good save there from Dunnigan. Back and forth we go here. Amy Collier right at Cordero Barr, and Andrew turns it back over. Alicia Andrew making her presence felt at the net early here, 5-3 Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin takes that point, but a great job there by Cordero Barr. She kept that point alive at least 3 times, extended that point, and she'll have her work cut out for her the entire night.
Collier on to serve. And there it was Brooke Habino missing long. Tough communication there for the Aggies.
Wisconsin finally out to their first 3-point lead of the night here. Trying to extend it as long as they can.
Aggies on the attack, and they respond quickly. That time it's Allie Chandler, 2024 All-Big West second team selection. Third on the team with 226 kills last year, but finished first in the Big West in hitting percentage, RJ, at a cool 373.
Yeah, and she's been doing it here for a while. Was also on the Big West freshman team in 23.
And there's Mimi Collier. Speaking of accolades, the 3-time All-American has her way with that one. Badgers lead back to 3.
Yeah, what a key transfer that was by Kelly Sheffield, bringing in Mimi Collier. She's done enough damage to the Badgers with Oregon the past couple of years. They finally had seen enough, and it was time to bring her in, and she's going to be a key piece to this team the entire year.
Freshman Addie Horner on to serve. Quickly as Davis Working now to Jade Light. Furbringer to Booth. Good stop there from Cordero Barr. And great touch there from Mia Starr. Putting Collier in a tough spot, out of position on the far side. And Collier too late.
It's great defense. It's been a couple times now by Cordero Barr. She's really putting her body on the line here early with some great defensive plays. First time it didn't equate to a point, that time it does.
Starr on to serve now. It's Uhagic with the kill there, and as mentioned, had a double-double on Sunday, also with a double-double on Friday. Defensively led the Wisconsin defense in digs on Sunday with 23 of them.
Yeah, she could be a big part of this team as well this year. She's part of the Serbian national team as well back home.
Key returner Charlie Furbringer on to serve, and she'll miss long. Make that the second service error for Wisconsin. Now the Badgers and the Aggies each with 2 apiece. We'll go back to UC Davis and Jade Light. Picked up by Vjajic. Up to Carter Booth, and she stood up. Or rather, fell into play there on the UC Davis side of things. Tough,
she
tough
was
break.
stood up though. She just snuck that ball in past. Not a bad block attempt at all there by Allie Caldwell. Just snuck under the block.
Vjajic playing back left corner there. Sent over to Hibino, and it's blocked out of bounds. Boy, that's got to be an intimidating presence at the net with Carter Booth and Grace Egan, RJ, but unfortunately for Wisconsin, it pays dividends for the Aggies this time.
Yeah, that's 6-7 right there with Carter Booth, and that's a lot to hit into. A good play, though, by Carter Booth. Just barely missed the outside of that line.
So Wisconsin on the attack, and a block there, courtesy of Allie Chandler and Breeze Chapinski. Standing up, Mimi Collier, and the Aggies are within 1.
Yeah, we always talk about in the past how good of a blocking team Wisconsin is, and UC Davis is right up there with Wisconsin. Right over 2 blocks per set for both teams.
Wisconsin looking to stop the Aggies' run, and it appears that they will.
I think this might be a challenge maybe here from Dan Connors. I'm not so sure that it touched, but
looks like they called a net violation there, I'm afraid, on UC Davis. It's now back to Kristen Simon to serve. Stop there from Starr, over to Chapinski, and it's Simon setting up Collier. One tough out of play, good save there by Cordero Barr, and Light will have to send it back over. Furbringer, over to Egan, and freezes Cordero Barr, not much. That the true sophomore. Back up by 3.
That was a heck of a swing there from Grace Egan. And we mentioned the transfer from Ohio State. Had her best career performance as a Buckeye right in this field house with 22 kills last year.
Starr over to Chapinski and returns the favor, freezing Furbringer this time. Serve goes back to the Aggies.
The Aggies have been on the attack so far as well. Wisconsin, I know, is up 2 right now, but they have not shied away from bringing the pressure onto the Badgers.
Chapinski on to serve right at Collier. That one will take a bounce off the scoreboard. And Urbino unable to successfully get that one over. It's Jade Light off of Furbringer. And boy, Charlie Furbringer was not expecting that one. Not even able to get her hands up in time. And now the Aggies are back within 1.
Yeah, it's a full dose of power from Jade Light there, and she's put on display already a few times here tonight.
Chapinski on to serve. He'll head back over. And it's Starr over to Light, and she'll try and tap it over, poked up by Egan. There's Ibino now. This Davis offense trying to get a little creative here, but Wisconsin be able to match him. And once again, Charlie Furbringer, the victim. And that's the 3rd one she's taken off her body, RJ, in the last 3 points.
Yeah, not a great start to that point there with Mimi Collier, the last 2 points, not being able to return the serve very well. And then at the end there, some miscommunication at the net from the Badgers.
And the run comes to a close, courtesy of a service error of Breeze Chapinski. That's the 3rd service error already in this set for the Aggies. And what a run it was now, tying things up, but Wisconsin now back out in front.
Hey, you mentioned 3 service errors already for the Aggies and only down 1 about halfway through the set. Holding their own for sure.
Grace Egan right at Jade Light. His reaction time wasn't as quick as the serve from Egan. And the service ace there for Grace Egan. That being Egan's first service ace of the 2025 season. She had 4 service errors coming into tonight's contest. Egan once again goes right at Cordero Barr. And Allie Chandler, who's supposedly a cornerstone in this Aggies offense, showcasing on that point there, back within 1.
Yeah, Allie Chandler as well, but got to give some love to Mia Starr, the setter. She's been placing them beautifully so far. The junior from Portland has 37 assists in the last 2 matches and 48 in the opener against Pepperdine.
And yet another service error for UC Davis. This time it's Brooke Habino, the 4th already of the set. And playing against a team like Wisconsin, RJ, you can't afford to make those kinds of mistakes.
Especially when you got the match this close. They're in this first set too.
Collier on to serve now, gets it over. No, she doesn't. There's been some sloppy play here at the service line early on. Now the 3rd service error for Wisconsin. UC Davis has 4 of them. So the ugly play matching one another as it's a 1-point lead favoring Wisconsin.
Yeah, you'd think just early season jitters and stuff, but these are just unforced errors.
Hayden Bones to serve for UC Davis. Furbringer will take it herself to no looker. Right at the far side 10-foot line. And beautiful play. Comes Jade Light on the attack, and she catches Horner out of position. Yet another kill for Jade Light, the senior out of Slough House, California.
Yeah, she's been a problem so far in this first set, and if I'm an Aggie, I'm just going to keep feeding her. Wisconsin had no answer for Jade Light so far in this first set.
Mia Starr to serve now for the Aggies. Find herself in play. Furbringer to Carter Booth, who's able to hang up there and deliver the kill. Boy, the athleticism of Carter Booth was on full display there, RG, as she's able to just almost hold her body up there and catch this UC Davis block off timing and deliver the point.
Yeah, you mentioned it. She didn't time that jump perfectly at all, but was able to use her athleticism and her power at that to get the kill.
Furbringer catches, I believe it was Chapinski, out of play, and a service ace for Wisconsin.
An important next 3 matches for Wisconsin. Again, they got UC Davis, then Chicago State tomorrow, and then Milwaukee next week before really ramping things up with the Power 4 conferences. But especially with this team, only 4 players, as we've mentioned a couple times, returning who played significant minutes last year. They need these matches maybe to just build their confidence up a little bit.
Well, it's safe to say, I imagine within the next timeout or at the end of this set, these coaches are going to be talking about opportunities lost at the net in between the time that we were delving into the deeper concepts of this game. Wisconsin had their 4th service error, UC Davis with their 5th. And now Wisconsin with their 5th. So here we go, RJ. This has been sloppy play from both teams so far, which has equated to a relatively close contest in the first set. Some of the yips on full display here, as you hope if you're UC Davis, Cordero Barr can get over the net, and she does. And a great read there from Brooke Habino on the return from Wisconsin, timing it up perfectly. And here we are, RJ, once again, just 1 point away from being all tied up.
Yeah, that's a bad return of that's a bad service return there by Viacic, letting in the easy overpass kill for Habino as Viacic goes and takes a seat on the bench.
Cordero Barr to serve again. This time it's Nia Warren, the true freshman in the game for Wisconsin. It's Grace Egan, who goes right after Cordero Barr and paints the near sideline to perfection.
Yeah, that's her 2nd time now painting that sideline. She loves that shot right there. A lot of power on that and showing it off to this UW Fieldhouse crowd for the first time.
Kristen Simon, tough play there from Jade Light over to Habino, and it stood up by 6'3", Alicia Andrew. You mentioned the loss of some of these players from last year, including Anna Smrek, who stood at 6'5", Sarah Franklin at 6'3", Devin Robinson at 6'1". You go out and get a player in Alicia Andrew who's able to pick up in the verticality department. Habino tries once again, and and fails. Now it's going to go back to Bino once again, this time off the front line of Wisconsin and out of bounds. So give credit to Bino, who stuck with it and ultimately delivers for the Aggies.
Yeah, but going back to talking about Alicia Andrews, and kind of an under-the-radar transfer with Mimi Collier coming in and Gracie Lopez as well, but she could be a really, really key piece of this Wisconsin team this year and determine how far they go, not only in the Big Ten, but in the NCAA tournament as well. She led Baylor in blocks with 130 last year.
And yet another service error for the Aggies, a sixth already in this set as we begin crunch time here in this first set. Here's Starr setting up Habino, and she does a fantastic job locating that ball on the far sideline and keeping the Aggies within striking distance.
Yeah, not going away without a fight here in this first set are the Aggies, and they have more kills right now than the Badgers as well in this first set. 13 to Wisconsin's 11.
Habino to serve for the Aggies. Furbringer over to Andrew, and a beautiful job by Alicia Andrew. Off the top, out of reach of Jade Light and out of bounds. Sometimes it's not always about power as it is about finesse, RJ, and Alicia Andrew showcased that there.
Yeah, definitely. Not the best set there from Charlie Furbringer. I think she'd be the first to say that, but a good job from Alicia Andrews working with it and still being able to put it away.
Comes Jade Light once again. A great diving stop there from Furbringer. And another nice setup there from Starr to Chandler. And Chandler, again, just poking it over the top of that Wisconsin front line. Wisconsin lead by 2.
Yeah, that's the 4th kill now for Allie Chandler. And we got a pretty good diversity of weapons here for UC Davis. Light, Chandler, and Habino, all with 3 or 4 kills.
And a tough service return there, RJ. And those are the kind of mistakes that you can't afford to make at a spot like this. In the first set, the Badgers, having led 22-19 now, lead is just to 1.
Yeah, the serve return has been a little bit of an issue so far for Wisconsin in this first set.
Hannah Bones to serve for the Aggies. Avu Hajic over to Collier. Collier right at Dunnigan. And Furbringer tries a no-looker. Great stop there by the Aggies defense. Couple of nice defensive plays from either team. Yajic stood up, was able to dig it back out, and it's Furbringer who stood up at the wall. That was Allie Caldwell, the 6-foot junior from San Carlos, California. And she says, not today, we are tied at 22 apiece. Mention the newcomers on the bottom of the screen there, Makey Burtons Deckard, Layla Burgess, and Faith Rabb Patterson. Only Layla Burgess has seen floor time this season for the Aggies. Furbringer up to Andrew. Easy as pie, Alicia Andrew. With her 4th kill, now ties the team lead with Grace Egan. The Badgers now with the magic number to 2 to take set 1.
Yeah, perfect set there from Furbringer as well, as you can see on the replay. And as you mentioned, easy as you like there from Allie Andrew.
Addie Horner to serve for the Badgers. And a tough play there, and catches Rachel Dunnigan. Horner on to serve. That won't get over. Yet another tough break for Wisconsin. At the service line, the 6th service error for the Badgers in this contest.
Yeah, 6 aside now in the service error department for both teams. It's going to be Mia Starr at the line for the Aggies. Doesn't want to make it 7. If she does, it'd be set for the Badgers.
Badgers with just 8 service errors in the loss on Sunday to Texas, 6 already here. Furbringer sets up Collier. Boom goes the dynamite, and good night on set 1. Beautiful set there from Charlie Furbringer to Mimi Collier, and the Badgers take set 1. And roster turnovers begin the second set. Charlie Furbringer on to serve for Wisconsin. And similar to the first set, the struggles at the service line continue. Charlie Furbringer with yet another service error and a tough break for Wisconsin to kick things off.
I mean, if you're going to give them any excuse or pass, it can maybe be the change of environment after playing 2 games at the Kohl Center last weekend, but it's on both sides as well. And this is Charlie Furbringer, for example, with 2 service errors. She's played in the Fieldhouse all of last year. She knows this place really well, so couldn't really give a good explanation.
Well, it seems, RJ, that neither team wants to get the ball over the net here to start things off in the second set. We'll see if Bihacic can change that. She does. Barely, with just trickling that one over the net. And a tough break there for the UC Davis defense, but it pays dividends for Wisconsin. A service ace.
Yeah, a little more luck than skill there by Bihacic, but works in the Badgers' favor.
Bihacic this time, no problem getting over the net. Jade Light will have to return it over. It's Simon to Furbringer, Carter Booth. And Booth brings the boom on that one. 3-1 Wisconsin. And Carter Booth with their second, now third kill here in the evening match.
Yeah, almost nothing that the UC Davis block can do about that one.
Here's Starr. Over to Chapinski. It's Simon to Egan. Big swing from Egan, too strong.
Yeah, it seemed like that original attack from Starr was going to go well wide and out, but Badgers decided to keep it up in the air, leading to their own mistake.
Now it's Jimena Cordero Barr, 2024 All Big West freshman selection. On the attack, it's Light, and too much for Kristen Simon to handle.
Yeah, just when you saw the Badgers get out to a 3-1 lead and win 2 points in a row, and maybe this set could be a little different. UC Davis rebounds with 2 points in a row of their own.
And the Aggies with a lot of balance in their offensive attack. They have 4 players with 4 kills so far in the match. And swing and a miss from Carter Booth. You don't see that one too often. Carter Booth, the senior with a lot of experience, but just mistimed that set. And it costs Wisconsin now, and the Aggies with their first lead here in the second set.
I feel like when you're that tall and you're that wide, it's hard to swing and miss on a volleyball.
One would certainly think. It's Furbringer now over to Collier. Great response there from the Wisconsin attack. Mimi Collier.
Good set there from Furbringer and a perfectly timed jump there by Mimi Collier. Didn't have to hit it too hard, but caught that ball right at its peak. Was able to bring it down for the kill.
You mentioned the lack of experience returning. Collier, one of those players coming in that carries a lot of experience. In the last 3 years, the University of Oregon.
Yeah, Collier also a California native herself as well, along with Charlie Furbringer. Wonder if they have any close ties to any of the Aggies on the other side of the court.
On the serve now, it's Chupinski. Grace Egan stood up by the Aggies block, and wow. Talk about a rejection. And a statement at that. Allie Chandler, Brooke Habino. Not today, my friend. And the Aggies have their largest lead of the ball game, 6-4.
That was a heck of a block.
Another tough break at the service line for the Aggies. I believe that is the 4th service error for Breeze Chapinski on the match. It's been a tough break for the junior out of Ramona, California. Here comes Starr over to Habino, and she's been a bright spot in this offense tonight, RJ. You mentioned Jade Light and Allie Chandler, but Brooke Habino has been able to hold her own, making this UC Davis offense a 3-headed monster.
Yeah, Habino didn't appear too much last weekend or last year as well. They played in 3 sets across 2 matches last year. But she's coming into this one today looking like a true veteran.
There's Grace Egan going right at Cordero Barr. Good dig there. Habino will have to send it right back over. Furbringer over to Alicia Andrew. She's quietly been the X factor for Wisconsin tonight. Her 5th kill in just 7 attempts has been efficient, I'd say.
Very efficient, and ask them for one more try.
Here's Starr over to Chandler. Good dig there from Simon. Egan. Bihacic. Easy from Light. And Light keeps it real. Yet another kill. Lead back to 2.
Yeah, Jade Light once again doing damage for the Aggies. Didn't love that play there from Viacic. Went for the little touch play. There's not a lot of room in the middle of that court. Would have liked her to just go all out at it.
Hayden Bones to serve. It's Mimi Collier laying down the hammer. Too much heat for Hayden Bones, out of play into the grandstands, and that's why you bring in the 3-time All-American to do things like that.
Yeah, there's so much power, especially on those backline kills when she's got time to really run and set up. Almost nothing you can do as a defender.
Horner back to the service line for Wisconsin. It's Starr over to Caldwell. Big swing there, Viacic. She gets one to go.
Very nicely done there from Viacic. Good set as well. We're back all square here at 8 in this second set.
Big swing there from Light. It's Collier again on the attack. This one out of play. Good save there from Light. And how about Brooke Habino? Her 6th kill already through the first set and now through the first 9 points for the Aggies.
Yeah, how about Brooke Habino? But how about Jade Light with that set all the way from out of bounds, put it on a tee perfectly, and gives the Aggies back the lead.
Starr on to serve. Picked up there by Warren. It's Collier missing long. The attack air.
Just like that, Aggies back up by 2. In control for the most part in this second set.
It's Mia Starr. Warren to Furbringer, over to Viacic, and stood up at the wall. This time it's Allie Caldwell.
Showed they were here to play in the first set, just snuck away from them. Now they're trying to take control here in the second.
Currently on a 3-0 run for the Aggies. Big swing, stood up at the wall once again is Viacic. Here comes Jade Light going right at Simon. It's going to be a tough play for Viacic. She doesn't get there in time.
They just look like the more confident team right now overall. They're blocking well. They're finishing their attacks early on in the point. And right now, Wisconsin looks to be on the ropes.
Certainly a lot of swagger with this Aggies group, RJ. Coming in, playing with nothing to lose. Starr right at Warren. Over to Simon, freshman to freshman. Now to Viacic, a sophomore. And yet another block for Allie Caldwell. This is a group that we've seen, RJ, offensively with the likes of Jade Light, Brooke Habino, and Allie Chandler carrying the load. And now Allie Caldwell on the defensive side of things has given the Badgers fits.
Yeah, they're out here to prove a point as this Aggie team. Haven't made the NCAA tournament since 2019. This might be the team to bring them back.
Furbringer up to Carter Booth, who goes right at Cordero Barr. Great dig. Furbringer over to Collier. And a great diving stop there from Jade Light. Furbringer trying once again, this time to Collier, and guess who? Allie Caldwell. What a performance so far in this second set. How about that for the junior out of San Carlos, California. She's been fantastic on the defensive side. Wisconsin trying to stop the bleeding. It's Madison Quest now, the true freshman out of Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Carter Booth sends it over to Starr. And it's Sabino over to Jade Light. And the block attempt unsuccessful for Wisconsin. And the Aggies right now are pouring it on the Badgers. A 7-0 run.
This is pretty crazy to watch. In the field house, these Wisconsin fans probably don't know what to do. Just try to motivate the team a little bit, but this is shocking.
Furbringer tries, and why not? Allie Caldwell once again. Wisconsin trying Caldwell. Caldwell with 4 blocks for the Aggies. Currently on an 8-0 run. It's Carter Booth trying Jade Light. Here's Sabino now back to Light. Not a great set, and it'll drop out of bounds. And Wisconsin finally stops the run for UC Davis, to the desire of the crowd here at the UW Fieldhouse, and looking to get themselves back into the second set here, facing a 7-point deficit.
Yeah, but they still couldn't finish off that point there. It was due to a set error from the Aggies, but UC Davis was still able to neutralize that attack from Wisconsin up front.
It's Starr over to Jade White, and she threads the needle on the back line, right past Kristen Simon. And how about Jade White with their 7th kill of the evening, hitting 500, rather 8 kill at that, hitting 533 now. She has been sensational for the visiting Aggies. It's time from the service line, Furbringer over to Egan. Great play there from Grace Egan. The 5th kill for Egan. Wisconsin still trails by 7.
Yeah, you mentioned 5th kill for Egan, ties a team high with Alicia Andrew. Would love to get her going more. She's been more efficient than most so far for the Badgers tonight.
Madison Quest on the service line now for Wisconsin. And Sally Caldwell now with a big swing there. Good diving stop from Simon. And beautiful touch there for Wisconsin. Mimi Collier with her 5th kill of the evening. Now ties the likes of Grace Egan and Alicia Andrew for the lead for Bucky.
And finally a good bit of defense there for the Badgers, able to withstand that UC Davis attack.
Here comes Starr over to Light. It looks like that didn't get over the net there. Still a good block attempt from Wisconsin front line. The Badgers now here as Madison Quest begins from the service line, picked up by Habino. That's going to be a net violation on Mia Starr. Point Wisconsin. You can feel the tension starting to break for the Badgers faithful here as they ease their way back into the second set.
Yeah, they've made up half of an 8-point deficit so far. Still a long way to go. Service errors down for both teams.
And there it goes. Chapinski, block from Carter Booth and Mimi Collier. Lead now just a 3.
That must have just clipped the outside of that line there. Looked close to being out. No challenge though from the UC Davis side. Down to 3.
The serve there from Quest. It's Sabino who's been outstanding tonight. The return. Egan, little touch, blocked by Habino. Chapinski to Starr to Habino. Back and forth we go here. Kyler tries to go long with it and misses too long. The run for Wisconsin ends at 5.
Yeah, big missed opportunity there for the Badgers. They had a good chance a couple times to cut that lead to 2. Now back out to 4. Not great sets on that possession for the Badgers.
Cordero Barr, the libero to serve. Furbringer sends it up to Collier. Good touch there. Jade Light off of the body of Booth, dug up by Quest. Diving stop there from Habino. Now it's Furbringer over to Booth. A tough play there for Chapinski. She misses out of bounds. Badgers back within 3.
Yeah, that's more like it right there. Furbringer actually set up perfectly. Had time to put that ball up to Carter Booth. Wasn't in a rush, and Booth, as always, putting it away.
Here's Starr over to Habino, and off the body of Quest. It seemed, and that was one, RJ, that you would have thought if your Wisconsin was going to go out. And maybe a rookie mistake there from Madison Quest as lead for the Aggies extends to 4.
Yeah, definitely a rookie mistake. That was for sure sailing just a little bit long.
There's Collier stood up at the wall of the Aggies. And great placement from Alicia Andrew on the response off the block. An offensive bright spot for Wisconsin. She's been able to deliver when need be, keep the Badgers within striking distance in the second set. It's Egan on to serve. And the velocity of Egan, we've seen it time and time again. It's been able to work itself in favor of Wisconsin. Off the body of Jade Light, out of bounds. Badgers start to feel it a little bit. Dan Conner is going to talk it over one more time here in this second set. The margins become
more times than they probably would like.
Both teams talked over, ready to go for the home stretch of set number 2. Grace Egan, big power on that serve. And so Allie Chandler is unable to get it returned, and Kristen Simon sends it back over. Wisconsin within 1.
It's just good cat-like reflexes there from Kristen Simon. And then Mimi Collier as well. No mistake.
Egan right at Habino. Back to Habino now, and it's Quest with the dig. Furbringer. Andrew, diving stop from Cordero Barr. Unfortunately, it's out of the reach of Mia Starr, and we are tied at 19.
Yeah, 4-0 scoring run for the Badgers, led by Grace Egan. 2 unbelievable sets we've been on hand for so far.
And just like that, it finds the far sideline as Dan Connor doesn't think so. He's going to challenge.
He seems pretty sure about it too. So did the Aggies. We didn't have a good look at it from up here, but everybody on that sideline was pretty sure that that ball was out off the serve, and no hesitation as well from Connors.
This is a crucial point at that, RJ, here in the second. 5 points to go for the Badgers.
How about a shout out to that ref in the corner, not only dodging a bullet serve coming at him, being able to make that close call on the line correctly.
Big swing there for Habino right at the freshman Simon, and she tests the youngster and gets the best of her.
Good job there by Habino. A big point for UC Davis to stop this run from Wisconsin. Now we just got to battle the 5.
Habino to serve. Back at the freshman, it's Furbringer. Across to Collier. Starr. Over to Light, stood up. Alicia Andrew returns the ball from Light over to Aggie territory.
Alicia Andrews probably been the most impactful player so far tonight for Wisconsin on the blocking side of things and leading the team in kills as well.
On the serve, it's Collier. Light sets up Habino. The block there from Andrew once again. Back over to Light. Big swing at the freshman. She'll turn it over. Cordero Barr to Starr. To Chandler. Another tough play for Kristen Simon. We've seen the last couple points for the Aggies, RJ. They've gone right at the freshman libero, Kristen Simon.
Yeah, and it's a heady play from a veteran upperclassman like Jade Light. And boy, does she just bring a lot of power with each strike she has, keeping this Aggie team in the second set.
Hannah Bones to serve. It's Furbringer. Over to Quest. She's stood up at the Aggie defense. Furbringer over to Collier this time, and great placement from Mimi Collier on the back line. Brooke Habino not there in time. It looks like Sheffield will make a pair of substitutions.
It hasn't been the transfer's best night so far, hitting-wise, only hitting 115, but coming up clutch when it matters most. 7 kills now for her, and taking the vast majority of the attempts for Wisconsin, as always.
Natalie Wardlow, true freshman, checked in the game for the first time tonight for Wisconsin. It's Jade Light, big swing. Over to Egan. Natalie Wardlow going right at libero. Now it's Jade Light, stood up. Carter Booth says no, 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 waving the finger. And the Badgers now just 2 points away from pulling out of what has been a dramatic set number 2.
Yeah, it's a big-time point there from Wisconsin, getting that 2-point lead, their first 2-point lead since 3-1 in this set.
Starr over to Light. And this time Light fights it through Carter Booth. Big response there from the Aggies.
Yeah, it was a battle there, just barely snuck it through. Carter Booth timed her jump well. Just couldn't put it back down on the other side of the net.
The Badger faithful cheering on the home team as it's the visitors on the service line. Furbringer, Carter Booth tries to touch. Caldwell doesn't like it. Big swing there from Trapinski. Looks like the point will go to Wisconsin.
Yeah, just barely out, but We'd like to see better execution on the original attempt from Charlie Furbringer to Carter Booth. They did it a long time last year, so that shouldn't be an issue like it was there on that point. Badgers lucky to win that one.
Set point. Charlie Furbringer at the service line for the Badgers. And she'll miss long. 8th service error for Wisconsin in tonight's contest. We haven't seen that in a while, RJ, as it started off with each team trading service errors to begin the second set. Crucial mistake there for Furbringer. Jade Light to serve right at the freshman Simon. Turns it back over to Aggie territory. Starr over to Trapinski. Freezes Collier. We're all tied at 24.
Yeah, Wisconsin 2-set points and really didn't have any opportunity to win both of them. Great serve from Jade Light led to the overpass, and prior, Charlie Furbringer with the service error.
Right at the freshman Quest. Furbringer over to Quest, who just has to fight it over. And it's Starr over to Trapinski. Great dig there from Simon. Big swing from Collier, blocked by Caldwell, but it falls out of bounds. Badgers back to magic number 1, close things out.
Yeah, you can tell they're just trying to hang on by a thread and escape danger here in this second set.
It's freshman Quest. Starr. And it looks like there's going to be a net violation on Wisconsin. Amy Collier pleading her case. Looks like be no appeal. Potentially Callie Sheffield will look into a challenge, and ultimately there will be. This is the Badgers now an opportunity to put this one away here with the set point. Quest over to Light. It's Starr back to Light. Simon right to Egan, and Grace Egan. Talk about laying down the hammer. She does so in style with authority. Wisconsin takes a back and forth set number 2. 5 kills on 7 total attempts. Underway for set number 3, Light with the serve. Searman to Quest, now Egan over. On the attack, it's Trapinski. Furbringer back to Egan, big swing off the face of Light, out of bounds. Point Wisconsin.
Yeah, if I'm the Badgers right now, you're up 2-0, but you're definitely not thrilled with your performance so far. I'm sure Kelly Sheffield in that brief locker room break said, let's go out here and make a statement to end this match off in this third set. Egan starting that way.
West back on the service line for the Badgers. It's Jade Light. Furbringer to Simon. Over to Collier. Big swing. Back and forth we go here for the second point. Carter Booth off the block. Allie Caldwell. Trapinski rejected by Booth and Collier. It's Abino. Over to Quest to Furbringer. Back to Collier. Big swing off of Light once again. And Wisconsin's gone after Jade Light, who's been really a big piece of this Aggie success tonight, but both times she's been able to corral the swings from the Badgers.
Yeah, and that looked a little more like it on that point. Everything was a little more in sync for Wisconsin in motion, and Madison Quest subbed in for Una Vahika in the middle of that second set, and ever since, Wisconsin's been on a run and she stayed in the game.
Looks like Brooke Abino will be able to sneak that one over. Point, or rather, excuse me, than it was in game 1 between Green Bay and Chicago State. Great block there from Egan. This looks like there'll be yet another net violation on UC Davis. Point Wisconsin.
Wisconsin out to a 4-0 lead here to start the second set. Probably a little more like it if you're Kelly Sheffield, and Madison Quest doing a great job at the service line.
Light over Trapinski, blocked. Collier and Booth. Back to Trapinski. Too strong over the net, out of bounds on the near side. Wisconsin comes out of the timeout and continues their success. 5-0 lead.
And it's been dating back to the end of that second set. It's been this lineup on the floor for the Badgers that's been having all that success.
Habino, who's been one of the premier names for UC Davis, unable to get one through the Wisconsin block of Booth and Collier. 6-0 Wisconsin lead to kick things off.
Yeah, that's going to be the third block on the night for Carter Booth. She now has at least 3 in each of the matches so far this season.
Starr over to Chapinski. Furbringer over to Booth, set up by Caldwell. She's been solid tonight. Quest can't get it through. I mean, regardless of the outcome tonight, if you're Dan Connor, you found yourself a defensive workhorse in Allie Caldwell.
That was one of the more impressive blocks, not only we've seen tonight, but I've seen doing games here at the Fieldhouse. Allie Caldwell just one-on-one stood up Carter Booth at the net with that block right there.
And Carter Booth is 6'7", RJ. Allie Caldwell is 6'1", so a 6-inch difference at that. As Grace Egan picks up right where she left off in Sunday's game against Texas, where she had a game-high 16 kills, now with her 6th kill of the contest tonight.
Yeah, love what I see from Grace Egan so far tonight. Got a lot of juice in her, a lot of power.
And Alicia Andrew, another name that we've called frequently on the offensive side, gets it done on the defensive end for Wisconsin. The Badgers lead back to 7. Looks like we'll take a look into. Yeah, for the Badgers, now out to a 7-2 lead. Looking to continue their momentum as the first service error of the set goes to UC Davis. It's been 2 teams that have traded service errors throughout the course of tonight's match, and tough break there for the Aggies. The Badgers looking to put the Aggies away here in 3 sets. It's Starr over to Habino, and Habino will miss, trying to paint the near sideline, and misses to the left. Point Badgers.
Yeah, obviously she had 4 service aces in those first 2 matches last weekend at the Colt Center, Grace Egan. But if she can find some consistency with the way she puts this serve in, she could be really, really tough to stop.
Here's Simon setting up Collier. Good dig there from Jade Light. Big swing from Brooke Habino. She capitalizes there for the Aggies. A lot of fight in this group. Not going away. Trailing 2-0, and already facing a 6-point deficit.
Yeah, Habino once again, team high, or tied a team high, 9 kills with Jade Light. Painted that back line.
Furbringer up to Collier. Just too easy for Mimi. Finds the heart of the Davis defense. No one home. 10-3 Wisconsin.
Perfect set, perfect finish. That's more like it, and that's what Badger fans are hoping to see all season long from their 2 superstars.
Collier now to the service line. Here's Starr up to Light. Off the Wisconsin block. Inbounds. Give credit to this Aggies group. Facing a 2-0 deficit in one of the tougher environments in the country at UW Fieldhouse. Good crowd for a weeknight tonight. The Aggies once again have shown and hung around with Wisconsin. Quest on the attempt into the block, and a tough corral there for Allie Campbell. We haven't seen her make many mistakes tonight on either side, but she does there, and it costs UC Davis.
Yeah, it just slipped off her hands. Weird there. Nothing she can do about it, but just the ball finally bouncing Wisconsin's way, it seems like, here in this 3rd set. Is there, for the first time really this match, controlling a lot of the tempo.
Starr over to Light. Pick up by Egan. It's Furbringer back to Collier. Allie Caldwell, you bet. It's a tough break there for the Aggies as Carter Booth.
I think we're going to get a challenge, though, from Dan Connor. Maybe because it did look like Mimi Collier kind of scooped it with her hand up there when saving it. I don't know if this is the challengeable play or not, but that's exactly what Dan Connor just talking to the ref about.
Yeah, and certainly at this point, each point carries a little bit more weight. Badgers lead now to 8.
Yeah, don't blame him at all for being mad about that.
It's Jade Light going right at Egan. Returns it over to the Aggie side. Horner calls off Booth. and Wardlow. Starr, back to Light, blocked once again. This time Light tries to touch instead of the power and sneaks it over the freshman Wardlow and Carter Booth.
Yeah, I know Jade Light had that kill right there, and UC Davis got that point, but the Wisconsin block has been a lot more active here in this third set. It's been really good to see, and a big reason why they're up 7.
Seven-point lead for Wisconsin. Mia Starr attempting to cut into that. Utilize the net to get the serve over. Freshman Quest. Off the body of Starr. Great save from Hidalgo, and no one there to get to it. In this third set, starting to get away from the Aggies here. The Badgers leading by 8.
Yeah, good effort by Habino there, but Madison Quest, the freshman, now with 2 kills here in this third set.
Diving stop there now as Jade Light touches it over the front of the Wisconsin block. You can see Carter Booth a little frustrated there. It seems like Light now with their last 2 kills has figured it out a bit, RJ. He's been able to sneak it over the top of Wardlow and Booth rather than trying to go through.
Yeah, I tell you what, I mean, I knew she was the impact player coming in. We covered her in the Open and preseason all Big West, but Jade Light has been really, really impressive so far tonight. I've liked what I've seen from her.
Furbringer to Egan. There's a block from UC Davis. This time it was Breeze Shapinski. Allie Caldwell was there on scene, but it looks like they'll award that to the junior. It's been an Aggies group that's been feisty all night long. Jade Light to serve. Right at the freshman Quest. Furbringer to Carter Booth. Big swing and big point there for the Badgers.
Yeah, you mentioned a big point there. I know they're up 6, now 7, but that was a big point for Wisconsin to get. Don't want to let this UC Davis team get anything going, because they're dangerous.
Starr, Caldwell, to Simon. Furbringer, over to Egan. And Egan jams Mia Starr. Badgers lead back out to 8.
Yeah, the efficiency for Grace Egan so far tonight. She's second on the team in kills with 9 now to Mimi Collier's 10, but her efficiency hitting .429 now on the match.
It's Habino. Yet another kill for Brooke Habino. Now the second Aggie to reach double-digit kills tonight, her 10th.
That was an impressive job by Habino as well. It wasn't set right to her. She had to move to it a little bit, but timed up her jump perfectly and painted that back left corner.
Daryl Barr to serve. Nia Warren's checked in the game for Wisconsin. Egan tries to touch over the block. Diving stop for Cabrera Barr. No one there. So after the Aggies have gotten a couple of points themselves going over the top of the Wisconsin block, this time the Badgers return the favor over the top of the Aggie block there for a big point.
Yeah, almost taking a page out of Jade Light's playbook there with Grace Egan. Wonderfully timed.
Over to Habino. Back to Simon. Furbringer to Collier. Big swing. Far side left corner. 9-point lead for Wisconsin. And Dan Connor with one last call. Off nights in the Big Ten.
Yeah, and you got to be, Badgers preseason ranked 3 behind Nebraska and Penn State. Minnesota at 4th, but conference is so deep. And yeah, as you mentioned, no off nights in the Big Ten ever. And if you talking about just the turnover a little bit more as well, 5 true freshmen on this team. A lot of them going to get real minutes throughout this season, as Kristen Simon, who's serving right now, will. And then if you take into account the sophomores, it's 12 underclassmen.
Out of the timeout, Wisconsin continuing to suffocate UC Davis, and you see Kristen Simon on the service line for the Badgers. The absence of Lola Schumacher was a big blow to this Wisconsin group this offseason. But perhaps that was because Kelly Sheffield liked what he saw in Kristen Simon, and perhaps there's a new sheriff in town now at the libero position. A tough break there for Simon, though. She puts that one into the net.
Yeah, Simon super, super impressive so far in the young season, coming in and performing right away. She's the 2024 Gatorade Kentucky Volleyball Player of the Year, and has shown every bit of that so far. Over 1,000 digs in her high school career. Not bad.
Sam will have to send it back over as it's Light up to Habino. That one off the Wisconsin block and inbounds. And Brooke Habino, certainly not one that we had circled on the roster in terms of impact players for tonight, but has certainly put herself out there with her performance. 11 kills on the contest. Furbringer over to Andrew. And too quick for Jade Light in the back line of the Aggies.
I've been impressed with what I've seen from Allie Andrews so far. 8 kills now on the night for the transfer from Baylor. It'll be a key piece season long.
Egan sends it over. Sabino on the kill right off the face of Simon. Good touch there from Allie Chandler. Haven't seen her in a while. It's back over to Egan. Great stop there. She's able to get it over the net. Habino will try once again. Charlie Furbringer showcasing the athleticism. Mia Collier right off of Habino, sends it right back over. Here we go. It's Grace Egan off of Jade Light. Two Aggies collide. And Habino misses high. And the point will go to Wisconsin. That one had a little bit of everything there, RJ. A couple Aggies colliding. Charlie Furbringer showcasing now. Collier now to the service line for Wisconsin. Picked up by Dunnigan. Swung over by Light. It's Grace Egan with the big swing. Diving stop there from Cordero Barr. Jade Light right at Grace Egan. Another defensive play there from Egan that's been paying dividends for the Badgers tonight. Light will just send it over, and the errant swing from Jade Light. Can't afford those at this point now. The Badgers just 4 away from taking this match.
Yeah, I didn't really know what Jade Light had in mind on that attack right there. Nonetheless, Badgers now up by 10, 4 points from the match.
Collier over to Dunnigan. Starr to Light, off the Wisconsin block and in play. Oh, Badger there to scoop it up. So this Aggies group not going anywhere at this point, doing the best they can to stay in the fight. They face quite the deficit of 9 points.
Yeah, it was a little more like it there from Jade Light, retaking her game high, 13 kills.
Furbringer Collier off of Dunnigan. 13th kill of the match for Mimi Collier. She ties Jade Light for the game high of either team. Horner on to serve for Wisconsin. Right at Dunnigan. Cordero Barr sets up Light. Big swing. Misses high and away. Point Badgers.
Yeah, Aggies were looking for a touch. Nothing doing it. Maybe they are going to give the point to the Aggies.
Looks like that call was overturned, it seems, as it'll go to UC Davis. Frustrated Kelly Sheffield trying to put this game away, but Dan Connor's bunch continuing to hang around. Quest to Booth. Booth back to Quest. Big swing blocked. Out of play. Point Wisconsin. 2 away from taking this match between the Badgers and the Aggies. This third set has been far more lopsided than the first 2 have been, with just the magic number to 2 for Wisconsin. Starr sets up Light, big swing. Jade Starr now with 15 kills. That's a game high. And say what you want, regardless of the outcome, but the junior out of Portland, Oregon, has been a star tonight. The costly service error at that for Light now is it's match point for the Badgers. So Light, he's had some troubles at the service line. Puts them in the danger zone. Quest on to serve. And that'll miss long. So each team trades serviced errors. As we'll go back to the Aggies. Jimena Cordero Barr. In play. Over to Egan. Off the block, picked up by Starr. Jade Light. Over to Booth. Back at Cordero Barr. Light. Back over to Trapinski. Simon. Back to Collier. Good pick up there by Trapinski once again, and she'll miss off the scoreboard, out of bounds. That'll do it. Wisconsin sweeps UC Davis in night one of the Wisconsin Invitational. First two sets were nail biters, but the Badgers put on cruise control.
Well, it's a warm afternoon here in Berlin. Temperatures in the mid-20s, Celsius. As Deanna Schneider takes on Donovan here at the Steffi Graf Stadion. Let's just have a look at the part of the draw these two find themselves in. They are in the second quarter. The winner will take on Matt Petter von Rusova, who has just come up with a really good win against Madison Keys in two very tight sets. It is going to be a tough ask for whoever can make it through here to take on von Rusova. A player so adept on any surface, but these two will fancy their chances as well. Donovan, finalist here a couple of years ago. Really just plays good stuff on the glass court. He's got this. Lost out a couple of years ago to Petra Kvitova, one of the fine glass court players of this generation. So no great shame, just falling short a couple of seasons ago here. Going to be happy to get back on the glass courts. It must have been a very short season that had a huge amount to be shouted out for her. Yeah, Schneider did play at qualified last week, so he's got up and running on the glass court now. A couple of victories over in London. Following the French. A lot of people have a home vote from Katie Bolter in the second round before losing out to Madison Keys in the quarterfinals. So already he's got her footing on the glass court. Perhaps after what's that slightly disappointing run of hours for her, I think. A lot of expectation was just building around what Deanna Schneider can